2 hours after I buried my son, his professor called me and whispered, "Mr. Callahan. I found something your son hid. Come to my office right now. And don't tell anyone you're coming." Then her voice broke. "If the wrong person hears about this, you could both end up dead." I remember staring at my phone like it was a weapon. My son was already in the ground. What kind of danger could exist after a funeral? I was still in the same black suit, sitting alone in my study, the house too quiet, like the walls had decided to mourn with me. The scent of lilies from the funeral clung to everything. The kind of smell that doesn't comfort you, it just reminds you what's missing. My son's name was Eli Callahan. He was 22, smart, kind, and annoyingly disciplined, one of those kids who could make adults feel guilty without even trying. And he was gone in 6 days. Doctors used phrases like rare complication and sudden organ failure. They spoke gently, like softness could make the words less brutal. My wife, Marissa, had died 2 years earlier. So it had been me and my 2 boys, Eli, the youngest, and Gavin, the oldest. Gavin was the one still walking around the house, cleaning, organizing, acting like a soldier. He'd been hovering over me since Eli got sick, since the funeral, since everything fell apart. "Dad," Gavin called from the hallway, voice careful. "You haven't eaten." I warmed up soup. I didn't answer. I couldn't. If I spoke, my voice would have betrayed me. Then my phone buzzed again. Prof. Harper Vaughn, Eli's professor, she had been at the funeral, standing off to the side with red eyes, holding a white rose like she didn't know where to put her grief. I answered. "Professor Vaughn." She didn't say hello. She said, "Mr. Callahan. I shouldn't be calling you. I know that. But I found something in Eli's studio. Something he left behind for you." My throat tightened. "What is it?" "I can't say over the phone." Her breathing sounded uneven. "Please. Come to my office. Architecture building. 3rd floor. Room 312. I glanced toward the hallway where Gavin was still nearby. "Can this wait until—" "No," the word snapped out of her like panic. Then she lowered her voice so far I almost couldn't hear it. "And don't tell anyone you're coming. Not even your older son." I sat up straight. "My older son?" I repeated, confused. "Why would Gavin? I don't have time," she whispered. "Someone's been looking for what Eli left. And if they find out I called you," she swallowed hard. "Mr. Callahan. I think your son was trying to warn you." The line clicked dead. I stared at the phone until my hand went numb. Then Gavin appeared in the doorway, soup bowl in his hands like a peace offering. "Who was that?" he asked gently. I forced a tired smile I didn't feel. "Just, someone from the university. Condolences." Gavin nodded, but his eyes didn't leave my face. "You should rest," he said. "You've had enough stress for one lifetime." Something about the way he said stress made my skin tighten. I stood up. "I need air," I said. "A drive." "I'll come with you," he offered immediately. "No," I said too fast, then softened it. "No. I need to be alone. I'll be back soon." Gavin studied me for a second, longer than a normal second. Then he smiled. "Okay, Dad. Be safe." I grabbed my coat and keys and walked out before my legs could change their mind. The drive to the university felt unreal. Like I was driving through somebody else's life. Campus was almost empty. The sun was dropping behind the buildings, painting everything gold and quiet. I parked, took the stairs to the 3rd floor, and followed the hallway to room 312. The office door was slightly open. Light spilled onto the floor. And then I heard it. A man's voice, low, sharp, threatening. "Give it to me. Right now." Then Professor Vaughn's voice, shaking. "Please, you can't take that." I stepped closer, heart pounding. Through the crack of the door, I saw Professor Vaughn backed against her filing cabinet, eyes wide. And standing in front of her, was my son Gavin. Not grieving at home. Not protecting me. But holding something in his hand like it was worth more than a human life. Gavin's jaw was tight, his voice calm in a way that made it worse. "Where is the rest of it?" he demanded. Professor Vaughn's lips trembled. "I already called his father," she whispered. And when Gavin said my name, when he said, "He's here," I realized something that made my stomach drop. He didn't look surprised. He looked, caught. That's when the door creaked louder under my hand. Gavin turned his head slowly. And his eyes met mine. "Dad," he said, like I was the one who didn't belong. "What are you doing here?" For a second, I couldn't speak. My brain was trying to rewrite what it was seeing. Gavin, my son, standing over Eli's professor like a threat. He stepped toward me quickly, switching masks so smoothly it almost fooled me. "Dad, you shouldn't be here," he said, voice soft. "This isn't the time." Professor Vaughn's face was pale. Her hands were shaking like she'd been holding her breath for 5 minutes straight. I said, "Gavin. You told me you were home." He didn't flinch. "I drove here because I couldn't sit still." He lifted what he was holding, an old black sketchbook with Eli's initials embossed on the corner. "I came to get Eli's things before the school packs them up. That's all." He gave Professor Vaughn a smile that felt rehearsed. "Right, Professor?" She nodded too fast, like a hostage. "Yes," she whispered. My instincts screamed. Gavin walked closer and put a hand on my shoulder the way he used to when I was stressed at work. "Let's go home," he said. "You don't need more pain tonight. I'll handle everything." As he guided me toward the hallway, Professor Vaughn suddenly stepped forward as if she was reaching for a pen on her desk. But she wasn't grabbing a pen. She slipped something into my coat pocket, light as paper. When I looked back, her eyes locked onto mine. Her mouth barely moved. But I read it clearly, "Run." Outside, Gavin walked me to my car, still acting like the dutiful son. "I'll be right behind you," he said. "Drive safe." He got into his car and pulled away first. Only when his taillights disappeared did I reach into my pocket. A torn scrap of notepad. For words in shaky ink, check his storage unit. Now. And under it, if you go home, he'll know. My throat went dry. Because I could already see my house in my mind, Gavin waiting there. Watching. Calm. I sat in the driver's seat, hands shaking so hard I couldn't start the car. And that's when I understood something that made me feel colder than grief. Eli didn't just die. Eli left something behind. And Gavin was terrified I'd find it. I didn't go home. I drove straight to the only person I trusted who wasn't family, my old friend and attorney, Miles Redding. He answered on the second ring. "Cal," he said softly. "I heard about Eli. I'm so sorry." "Miles," I whispered, voice cracking, "I need you to listen. And I need you to not ask questions until I'm done." 20 minutes later, I was sitting in Miles' office while he locked the door behind us. I placed Eli's name on my tongue like it was broken glass. Then I told him everything, the call, the warning, Gavin in the professor's office. Miles didn't interrupt. He just stared at me the way people stare when they're realizing the world is darker than they thought. When I finished, he said one sentence. "Cal, if your son is warning you from the grave, we don't ignore it." We pulled up Eli's records. And there it was. A storage unit contract. Unit B-17. Under Eli's name. Miles grabbed his coat. "We go now." The facility was a 15-minute drive away, near the edge of town. The clerk recognized my last name and tried to offer condolences. I didn't accept them. I just said, "Open Unit B, 17. The roll-up door screamed as it lifted. Inside was a metal shelf. A sealed box. And on top of it, a manila envelope with my name typed across it, Mr. Calvin Callahan, open alone. Miles looked at me. "Do you want me to step out?" I nodded. He stepped out and turned his back. I opened the envelope. Inside was a flash drive, and a single folded letter in Eli's handwriting. My hands shook as I read it. "Dad, if you're reading this, I'm either gone, or I'm about to be. I'm scared to write this, but I'm more scared of what happens if I stay quiet. Gavin is in trouble. And he's pulling you into it. He thinks he's protecting the family. But he's lying. And someone is making him do it. If anything happens to me, it wasn't an accident. Please don't confront him alone. Please don't go home until you see what's on the drive. I love you. Eli." My knees almost gave out. I stared at the flash drive like it was heavy enough to crush me. Then Miles stepped back inside. He looked at my face and said, "Bad." I couldn't speak. I just handed him the drive. He plugged it into his laptop. A folder opened automatically. 3 videos. 1 audio recording. And a file named, "If I Die, Play This First." Miles clicked it. Eli's face appeared on the screen. He looked exhausted. Eyes hollow. Like he'd been carrying a secret too heavy for his body. He said, "Dad, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I didn't want you to hate Gavin. But I need you to understand, Gavin didn't start this. He got trapped." Eli swallowed, eyes wet. "And the person trapping him," he paused. Then he said a name that made my blood turn to ice. Because it wasn't a stranger. It wasn't a criminal I'd never heard of. It was someone I trusted. Someone who'd been in my home. Someone who'd hugged my sons. Eli whispered, "It's Uncle Raymond." Uncle Raymond. My younger brother. The funny uncle. The helpful brother. The man who had been supporting Gavin since Eli got sick. Miles froze. "Your brother?" I couldn't breathe. Then Eli's video continued. Uncle Raymond found out about Dad's life insurance update. He found out Dad changed the company paperwork last year. And he told Gavin that if the truth ever came out, Dad would lose everything. Eli's voice cracked. He told Gavin he had to do one thing to protect the family. He told him it would be temporary. That nobody would get hurt. Eli looked down like he was ashamed for even knowing. But I caught them arguing. I recorded it. Miles clicked the next file. Audio. 2 voices. One of them was clearly Gavin, panicked, shaking. The other was Raymond, calm, cold, impatient. Raymond said, "Your father won't survive another scandal. We're doing this clean. And you're going to do exactly what I say, because if you don't, I'll make sure Dad finds out what you did at the firm." Gavin's voice broke, "I didn't mean for Eli to get sick." Raymond replied, "Then stop talking and follow instructions." I felt like the room tilted. Because it wasn't just grief anymore. It was betrayal stacked on betrayal. Miles shut the laptop slowly. "Cal," he said, voice steady, "we go to the police. Right now." I nodded. But my phone buzzed in my pocket. A text from Gavin. "Dad, where are you? I'm worried. Come home. Please." Then a second text. "I'm sorry." Then a third. And this one wasn't from Gavin. It was from an unknown number. "Stop digging. Or you'll be buried next to your son." Miles looked at my face and immediately grabbed his keys. "We're not going home," he said. "We're going somewhere safe." As we rushed out, my phone rang again. I answered without thinking. A whisper on the other end, "Mr. Callahan, they know you found the unit." It was Professor Vaughn. Her voice was shaking. "They're coming. Right now." Then she said something that made my stomach drop even further. "And Mr. Callahan," she paused. "I don't think Eli was there first." If you enjoy real-life stories like this, please follow the page. Like, comment, and share to support the channel. Your support keeps these real-life stories alive. Thank you for watching.